Hello, everybody. Yes, that's right. I said that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Thursday, January 20th, 2022, and I am trying to make a relatively quick video. I'm going to give it my best. I know that I normally tend to go over, but I'm going to do my best not to do that. Just a quick update on what's going on and the new goals that I set. I know that I wanted to post a video on Tuesday, but time has not allowed for that or I haven't made time. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right in, and we're doing this in one take. That's why I'm stammering a little bit, because I'm not going to stop it. So, I have to go back to work. I have to be back at work in 18 minutes, so we're gonna try to keep this about 10 minutes. That's my plan. I'm a little dry. Okay, so last week I made some goals. If you want, go back and watch my video to see what those goals are. This week I added to or tweaked them, and I'll talk a little bit about them as I go. One of the things that I had set either last week or the week before is that I wanted to make sure that I was having a healthy breakfast every day, fixing a healthy breakfast every day. And I didn't say this was specifically Monday through Friday when I go to work, because I have more time on the weekends because I can sleep in and I don't have to worry about rushing. So those are usually easier times for me to have breakfast, but I just want to make sure that I try to have something healthy during the week, instead of kind of the grab and go quick stuff that tends to be a little more intense. As you can see, I am trying to multitask because I gotta hurry. So that is something that I've been doing really well on. In fact, I am planning on doing a video, I do believe this weekend, to show you something that I decided to cook involving eggs, which I know I've mentioned before is something that I love. I am a huge fan of breakfast food, for one, but I really love eggs because of all the different ways that you can cook them. I also love potatoes because of all the different ways that you can cook them, but because they are starchy vegetable, those carbohydrates turn into sugar in your bloodstream, not good for you, and you know, all that jazz. So, but they're delicious. Let's be honest. I love me a good potato. But again, eggs. So I'm going to be probably asking my sister if she will help me record a video that I make this omelet thing. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be in a new video coming up shortly, probably within a few days. So that one's going well. A couple of the other goals that I am keeping that went differently. The 30 squats, 30 crunches, and 30 knee push-ups 3 times. I only did that 1 time last week. So I'm not really kicking myself about it, but I'm not very happy with myself that I only did it 1 time, because there were other times that I could have done it that I was just really tired or chose not to for whatever reason. But that's like, I could have done that during something else, and like I was watching Harry Potter movies with my boyfriend over the weekend, and I could have done at least 1 more set of those 30 squats, crunches, and knee push-ups, like while we were watching those movies, because I've seen them all several times, and he has maybe seen a couple of them all the way through. So we're watching all of them together, because as you can see, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm a Hufflepuff, and he's amazing. So he wants to watch these movies with me, and I love him dearly because he is just awesome. And there are reasons beyond this video I don't need to put in to extend the time on this video, because we are at about 4 minutes. So I'm going to do the best that I can to stay in it and talk about it more and waste time. All right, so that. So I'm trying again for those 30 squats, crunches, and knee push-ups 3 times this week. I haven't done any yet this week, but I still have today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I've got 5 days to do those 3 sets, and I'm actually planning on doing one of those sets this evening. I am also continuing to do a caffeine curfew. However, I'm taking it down to 1 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock. I've noticed that partially in an effort to drink more water, I have been finishing my coffee a little early, so I'm going to go for 1 o'clock. And a lot of the days that I finished early, they've been like noon. So, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to cut it down as I go. So maybe next week will be 12:30, and maybe after that noon, and then we'll see how that goes for a little while. Just kind of, I mean, really, it's neat because I feel like I'm implementing these good habits. If you can hear that music in there, Shelly's watching some stuff, but I'm implementing these really good habits, and they're becoming easier as I go. And I can't tell you how amazing it feels to actually, like, when the good habits that are kind of something that you struggle with are actually becoming easy. Like, it's so cool. So, or at least easier. Like, it's not as much of a heart pang to tell yourself no, or to make a better decision, or to dump the coffee, caffeine, beverage, whatever you might have, when you tell yourself to. Like, that, it's not as hard. It's just a decision that you made. If you check out Tom Bilyeu, he's got a YouTube channel, and he does a lot of like motivational speaking and stuff, and he does interviews with people who interviews with people that do a lot of life, personal growth and development stuff in general. But there's, just go check him out. He's awesome. I think it's TomBilyeu, Tom Bilyeu. And I'll probably go ahead and throw that in the description down below. So maybe like a link to his page. I think I've done it in a previous video. But anyway, one of the things that he talks about is his bright lines. And he's got like a training thing that you can sign up for if you want to. I haven't done that yet. Maybe I might do it sometime, but he has talked about it in a few of his videos, that his bright lines are basically his, and my paraphrase, his boundaries. So when I have a caffeine curfew, essentially that could be considered a bright line of mine. That's my boundary where I don't have caffeine after that. And I have made a couple exceptions. I know that goes hand in hand with my no soda, except on special occasions. Sometime within the last week, I had a can of Pepsi when I didn't need it, but I was in the middle of a conversation with somebody away from where my water was, and I was getting kind of dry, and also was taking some headache medication because I had a random headache, which I don't get often, and it just wasn't going away. I think it was because that day I was like having lack of sleep. So the Pepsi was available, and she let me have one. One of the two that I was talking with, she let me have one of her cans of Pepsi. So it was a 12-ounce can of Pepsi, and it was funny because I was figuring my calories on MyFitnessPal, which is another one of those things that I am using consistently. And I was like, I have to log that Pepsi. Oh no. So I had to log that Pepsi, and that was roughly 150 calories that chucked into my day. 1,800 some calories that I only have for the day, and if I don't work out, and then I had to cut down 150. So that was kind of a bummer, but that was the only soda that I had on a day that wasn't special. Then let's see here. Continuing to use MyFitnessPal, and that's working really, really well. In fact, the last couple of days I've been under my calorie count, and I've been over my water. And now my water goal was to drink 48 ounces of water a day, which was 2 of these containers full of water, and I have increased it to 60 ounces a day, which is 2.5 of these containers of water. Yes. And so I'm doing great on that. Actually, I've had over, I think, every day this week so far with my goal. So like Tuesday through now, I think I've gone over. I'm on my first one today. I'm almost finished, but I'm trying to essentially finish like my first one by like 1 or 2, and then have my second one finished by the time I'm done with work, which is usually 5:30 or 6 o'clock, and then do my third one after that within the last hours of my day, like at home or wherever I am. So last night I went to play volleyball, and that was fun, and it was really easy for me to go through one of these because we don't play super competitively. It's a little bit competitive, but it's mostly just for fun and recreation. And I finished that one bottle of water, that third bottle of water while I was there, and I got to fill up. So I ended up drinking, I think, 3.5 24-ounce bottles of water yesterday. So that was cool. So anyway, that is my water goal. I've also increased my, no, I did not increase. I put, I'm continuing with my exercise for 5 times a week. Yes, that was the same as last week. So I'm continuing exercising 5 times a week for at least 20 minutes, if not more than that, if I can wing it. And so far I have exercised twice. Both times were yesterday, but they were separate occasions. One of them was on Tuesday. Yesterday, Wednesday. I took a walk for about 20 minutes in my favorite park in the morning, even though it was cold as hell. And then I played volleyball in the evening for about hour and 45 minutes, taking out like chill time, basically. So, and that's another thing I've decided, that I'm going to go outside and walk and get those sunshine rays and all that vitamin D stuff that I talked about in one or two of my previous videos every day that it is 25 degrees or above, because I can handle that. And I decided to just make that kind of my cutoff line, because even though it's cold as hell at 25 degrees, it's bearable. And even maybe 24 or 23 or 22. But I did go for a walk, I think last week sometime when it was teens, and I felt like my nose was going to freeze off. I ended up wearing I have a mask, and I ended up wearing my mask over it, and then my glasses fogged up, and it was just, one, it wasn't an enjoyable experience because of how damn cold it was, and two, I couldn't see the best because I didn't have my glasses on, which I can see close, and things far away are a little bit blurry. So it's not as enjoyable being out there in the morning in the fresh air and the sunshine with the nature, where it's blurry and I can't really enjoy it from that aspect. And then the air's so cold that I can't breathe it in well, triggering my asthma, and or like just being cold on my skin and everything, where I'm so bundled up that not much skin is exposed to the sunlight to even get those vitamin D's generating in my skin from the sunshine. So, all right, that is exercise. Oh, and I added to exercise, actually. I decided to do 10 minutes of stretching 3 times a week. I originally had it for daily, and then I decided to change it to 3 times, because when I get going with stretching, I tend to really enjoy it, and then I end up taking more time. And I did about 15 minutes of stretching. I do believe it was Tuesday. Yeah, I did 15 minutes of stretching Tuesday. And because I did that little bit of extra time, that cut into my travel time to go take a walk. And I ended up not taking a walk that day. So I decided to just cut it down to 3 times, and you can fit it in either with or alternating with that 30 crunches and squats and knee push-ups that I had set for myself, so that neither of those things are overwhelming. And if I do cut into the time, I can still make sure to get that 20 minutes or more of exercise that doesn't include those 2 things. Let's see here. I met my exercise goal last week on Saturday, and as my exercise on Saturday, it wasn't 20 minutes of, say, walking or jogging or anything like that. It was actually 3 hours of housework, nonstop, no breaks except for to pee. So I was on my feet doing dishes, sweeping the floor, mopping the floor, doing laundry, hanging up laundry, folding laundry, doing all this stuff standing, other things. But I mean, it was 3 hours of housework that was uninterrupted. So I hadn't even eaten until after I was finished with those 3 hours. I just woke up, and one of those rare occasions where I actually felt motivated. So I went for it. So that's what I did there. And that was completing my 5 times a week, but I went ahead and decided to keep that consistent until I'm used to doing it at least 5 times a week, so that it becomes a habit before I add to, maybe to add it to 6 or whatever. And there is a part of me that's just afraid to add it to 6 because I don't want to set myself up for failure. But simultaneously, there are different ways that I can increase the exercise. Like I can increase it, for example, next week, I can increase it to 25 minutes each time if I wanted to. And that's something that is doable, especially hand in hand with my waking up goal, which I went ahead and shifted down to 5:45 for my first alarm, and my second alarm at 6 o'clock. It's technically my third alarm because I have an alarm that I set on a little box clock that's across my room for about 7 or so minutes after my first alarm goes off. Something like that, maybe anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes, depending on how that clock is adjusted, because sometimes it runs fast and like that gets away from it and I don't reset it for a while. So anyway, but that first alarm is going to be 5:45 this week, and the next one's going to be at 6 on my phone. And so as long as I get up within that 5:45 to 6 o'clock range, that meets my goal every day for Monday through Friday. Excuse me. I allow myself to sleep in a little bit on the weekends for now. I want to make it, I would like to make my habits of getting up at the same time consistently, because there are studies according to the motivational stuff that I listen to, people like Jordan Peterson and gosh, who else? There are other people that talk about setting a schedule and sticking to it, and setting a time that you're going to get up each day and just sticking to it every day, no matter what, with like some small variances, like if you're sick or something like that. So I've been trying to do that. I've been pretty good about that. There were a couple of days that I didn't make it, but overall it's been good. And I am finding that I'm getting better rest that way too, because that's when my body's like, hey, it's time. So that's awesome. And then the anti-ego philosophy, again, if I don't love it when I eat some food, if I don't love it, I don't swallow. So that is that goal. And I know I've talked about it before in my other videos. I love it. It's a great goal, and it's actually really helped me to say no to some food. And it's like I said about that earlier, where how cool is it that these habits that I'm practicing are getting easier. I had a plate with less portions on it, because now that I'm counting my calories, I'm trying to stick with trying to count my calories and do it accurately. So I had a plate with mac and cheese and green beans and diced peaches on it, and I ate. I think I want to say about a cup of each of those on my plate. I ate about half the mac and cheese because it had like a taste to it that just wasn't like pleasing to me. It was kind of ewy, and I'm like, you know what? If I don't love it, it's got to go. And then my green beans, I hated throwing them away because they have great taste value, but I ate about half of the green beans, and the rest I tossed because they were kind of stemmy, like, you know, like kind of stemmy, hard, kind of fibrous, stocky, whatever you want to call it. So I decided the same thing with that. I enjoyed my diced peaches, and then I ended up making healthier decisions later with snacks like carrot sticks and bananas and oranges, and then I got some pecans at work too in one of my drawers. That way, if I need something that's going to be crunchy and satisfying, that's there and ready to go. So here I am at 17 minutes. I'm probably going to be late to work. Such is life sometimes. We still have that grace period, so I'll stick with that grace period. So that has been really great as far as that goes. With the anti-ego philosophy, it's getting a lot easier to implement that and not feel so bad about throwing food away if I'm not enjoying it and it's not good for me, or it's not good for me. So let's see here. What else? I think that basically covers the new stuff that I'm doing. I wanted to touch base about a couple of things that have happened or that I did within the last week. But honestly, I just really can't remember. So I will probably say that's good. I'm just gonna, I did cut down drastically on my butter, and now I am essentially not buttering my veggies that go with my eggs in the morning. So I use like a little bit of butter to cook my eggs, and then that's it. So I've basically cut that down half, if not more, than what I was eating before. Washing my hair every other shower has been working out, and eating out less and cooking at home more has absolutely worked out. Between me and my sister cooking, it's been awesome. So again, I am going to reiterate that I am super pumped that these habits are actually they're like kicking in and becoming real habits. They're just becoming easier to do. So I'm super pumped about that. It's a slow process. You know, I do believe this is the completion of the third week completion. Yeah, from the start. And I am proud to report that where I started on December 28th at 260 pounds. Let's see here. All right, as of yesterday. So technically it was Monday, or not Monday. Yeah, probably Monday. I don't even know. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So I weighed myself on Monday, December 27th, 2021, but I reported it in my video on that Tuesday of 260.0. And I am now down to 250.4 for a total loss, work off of deficit, if you will. A total loss of 9.6 pounds. So I have been doing really well. And again, I am aiming for 1.5. That's my goal every week. 1.5 like a minus 1.5 pounds progress. If it's more, wonderful. If it's less, I need to look over what I'm doing and be honest with myself about stuff that I'm either doing or not doing that are influencing the result that I'm getting. So, but this last week was a 6-pound loss. So it was a really good week for that to happen. I needed some positive reinforcement. And again, I've talked about, yes, I am counting calories, but I'm also trying to make my calories count and eat things that are healthy for me as well. It's not just counting calories, but it's also making good choices that are going to help fuel my body and give me nutrients and all that jazz. So I'm on my way. I'm really excited that January is going to be coming to a close here in about a week and a half. And I'm doing well. And that's awesome. I'm super pumped about it, that I'm actually making progress. There is this teeny tiny small part of me that's a little bit scared that I'm going to speak too soon. And I'm going to, here comes the expletive, fuck up by having like overconfidence and a sense of a kind of vanity that goes with making progress sometimes, but I'm trying to keep myself in check at the same time. So I am going to continue to take those small steps and increase as I go, and again, make these real good, long-lasting, sustainable habits that I form that I can maintain, because this is a reflection of a logical, slow process lifestyle change. So if you are on this journey with me and you want to follow the same things, you are absolutely welcome to. I will put down what I'm doing this week in the description below, and as well as Tom Bilyeu and my progress down there. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend, since tomorrow is Friday, and Friday is essentially the start of the weekend. And if you're in a cold weather area, hang in there, right? I will talk to you later. Make good choices, be your best self, and live your best life. Bye.